Hello, it is Friday, and today is our regular weekday lunch and learn. So I'm glad you joined me. I am Dr. Polly Heil-Mealey, and you are inside my office at Abundant Health and Wellness Clinic. And we are located in downtown Humble at Main Street and Avenue C. Now, I'm looking at my live, of course you're looking at your camera, and I see it looks like there's a hatchet right over my head here, and that is a plane, just so you know. That is a shadow of a plane that I have hanging in the corner of my room. So anyway, don't be afraid that there's a specter or something going to get me, because it's not. And thank you guys for tuning in, all of you that have already tuned in. I appreciate that. Today we're going to talk about the health benefits of dark chocolate. So a lot of times people want to eat chocolate, and they think that because I am kind of a health nut in a lot of ways, that I take all the fun out of everything. And I just want to tell you that good dark chocolate is okay. All right. Now, that doesn't mean that we eat tons and tons and tons of it, but there are some studies that show that eating dark chocolate actually protects you from cardiovascular events. So I want to kind of talk to you a little bit about that today. We actually do have chocolate. We've got this chocolate bar that we have. It's called Choco Perfection. And it actually is dark European chocolate. We've got it with almonds and without. This one, I think, is without. It's 100% sugar-free. And it's got fiber, right? And it's gluten-free. And it's non-GMO. So what's not to love? Well, one thing that is not to love is it only has 60% cocoa in there. So your dark chocolate, even though this is dark, your dark chocolate should have close to 80%. Now, the higher the percentage, the more bitter the chocolate. So just want to throw that out there. If you're doing the milk chocolate, you're not getting the health benefits that maybe you need to. So we've also got the little bitty bars. This is 1 ounce, and it is orange flavor. It's only 40 calories. And this one is mint chocolate. And again, it's 1 ounce. And it's sugar-free and non-GMO and all that kind of stuff. So these are good things. These are good choices to have. So I want to just walk you through this little report so that you can see why it's important to have dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is an antioxidant. And what that means is it protects you from free radical damage. Now, free radical damage is what happens when there are some chemical reactions in the body, and you've got these valent and covalent electrons that are just out there and they don't have a partner. So what that does is it causes oxidative stress in the body. So you can say that your body is rusting. I mean, obviously, not like a nail that's rusting, but you've got oxidative stress in the body. When you have oxidative stress in the body starts to wear out. You can have some fractures, you can have some tears and different things in the internal workings of the body. And so chocolate actually protects you from that. So that's awesome to know. It also has been studied as a possible cancer prevention, and we all want to do those things that are good for cancer prevention. So there's been some studies on that, and according to the American Cancer Institute, it says, and this is a quote, "Given chocolate's rich supply of flavonoids, researchers have also investigated whether it may play a role in cancer prevention. The studies in cancer prevention are still emerging. A recent review of the studies on cancer protective properties of cocoa concluded that the evidence is limited, but suggests more rigorous studies should be constructed to understand and to concentrate on the cancer preventative role of dark chocolate. It provides strong antioxidants, and that effect in combination with the possible pleasurable eating experience, right? All those things makes it a good choice if you are dealing with cancer. Now, just to give you a little caveat to here, we know that sugar feeds cancer, so we don't want to have that, but these particular bars are sugar-free, right? They are sweetened with chicory root. So chicory root is a natural substance, and when you're taking this, it tastes really good. I have them in the office. People come by. We have never had anybody say that it didn't taste good. So a lot of times you'll go and you'll get those bars and all that kind of stuff at the grocery store, the health food store, and you bite into it. It's like eating cardboard. Well, this isn't. This is like really eating chocolate. So it's good. So if you are a cancer patient, these are okay for you because they are sugar-free. The other good thing about chocolate is that it is suggestive to improve cardiovascular events. And this is a really great study. And I'm seeing all these people that are coming on and watching me, and I appreciate that. And my favorite man is on here, so I appreciate you being here. So the flavonoids that are in the dark chocolate, right, according to the Cleveland Clinic research, has shown that the flavonoids have a very positive effect on heart health by lowering the blood pressure and improving the blood flow to the heart as well as to the brain. So why would that be? That would be because of all the magnesium content in the chocolate. And so we're going to talk about the different nutrients that are in chocolate in just a minute. But it is the magnesium that makes it so good for the heart and for the brain, because magnesium, specifically for the heart, it is the mineral for the heart. It causes the heart to relax. It causes all of your muscles to relax. So eating chocolate, you've got that nice buttery, melty morsel in your mouth, and your whole body just gives a sigh of relief because of all that good nutritional content, right? Dark chocolate flavonoids can help make blood platelets less sticky and able to clot, which makes it a good choice if you are at risk of blood clots and stroke. So none of us want to have blood clots and stroke. So this is a really good study, and it was published by the International Journal of Cardiology. It had subjects consume a daily dose of flavonoid-rich dark chocolate or non-flavonoid white chocolate for 2 weeks. So this was a 2-week study. The study showed that the flavonoid-rich dark chocolate intake significantly improved the heart circulation in healthy adults. On the other hand, the white chocolate with zero flavonoids to brag about had no positive health benefits at all. So I've heard some people say that white chocolate really isn't even chocolate at all. I'm not a chemist, so I haven't looked at all that, so I don't know. I prefer the darker the chocolate, the better I like it. And so this is what they're talking about here. So there was another study that was published in 2015, and it followed 20,000 people. So anytime you get 20,000 people, that's a really good survey. They followed these 20,000 people for 11 years. So this wasn't a 2-week study. This was an 11-year study. The study concluded that the cumulative effects suggests that higher chocolate intake is associated with lower risk of future cardiac events, and that there does not appear any evidence to say that chocolate should be avoided by those who are concerned about cardiovascular risk. Among the subjects who consumed the most chocolate, only 12% developed or died of cardiovascular disease during the study, as compared to almost 20% of people who did not eat chocolate. So it appears that if you eat chocolate regularly, that you're going to cut your cardiovascular risk significantly. So that's just something that's good to know. But you want to make sure that you're getting the good chocolate, the high cocoa dense chocolate, and you don't want to have more than about an ounce a day. You don't want to be having a big 6-ounce bar every day after dinner, okay? You just want to have limited exposure, but you want to have that cumulative exposure. So that's good. The dark chocolate is good for your overall cholesterol profile. Now, if you've come into my office, you know that we talk about cholesterol all the time. Cholesterol is made up of 3 components: your triglycerides, which is what you're eating, your LDL, LDL, which is your inflammatory response, and then your HDL, which is how you're utilizing your good cholesterol. So what this particular study found was that the dark chocolate helped improve your good cholesterol, and it did not have any negative effects on the LDL. In fact, a 15-day consumption of the polyphenol dark chocolate resulted in the LDL cholesterol decrease of about 6.5 to 7.5%. So that's really good news. It's not a huge percentage, but when you get that bad cholesterol down, then you're doing a good thing. We don't particularly like statin drugs. If you go to my website, you'll see a report that was published by MIT, and the professor shows you in great detail. It's about an 18-page report that talks about why statin drugs don't work. It talks about the study that everybody was all into in the 70s, I think it was, and that study has actually been debunked. In the holistic field, we know that if you have high LDL, that you've got an inflammatory response, and the LDL cholesterol is protecting you from a blowout. So we're not in favor of suppressing the cholesterol with a drug. And on the other hand of that, if you suppress your cholesterol, then you're not going to have enough cholesterol to make all of your hormones. So in the hormone chain of events, your cholesterol is a big 28 atom molecule, and it is at the top of the food chain. Under that are about 20 different hormones. At the bottom of the food chain is estrogen and testosterone. So what does that mean for you? That means if you are taking a cholesterol-lowering drug, you may not have enough cholesterol to go around to make all of the things that you need. Number one, it's in every cell wall. It is what constructs the cell wall of all of your different 70 trillion cells in your body. But cholesterol also is needed to make all of your different hormones, whether it's your thyroid hormone, your adrenal hormones, your pancreatic hormones, all those kind of things. You need that cholesterol. So if your LDL is high, it is because there is an inflammatory process, and we want to lower that naturally. And dark chocolate could just be your ticket. Okay? So we're not going to do that. Let's see. Brain food. It's a brain food. Okay? So it is listed in the top 15 brain foods. Why? Because it opens up the neural pathways and the blood supply to the brain. So you get all of the oxygen to the brain all at one time so that you can do what you need to do with your cognitive function. So it is the intake of the flavonoid-rich foods, including chocolate, that is associated with better performance across several cognitive abilities. Now, when I was a teacher, we had some small classes we taught in a parochial school, and I was able sometimes on a test day to take these kids out to one of the local breakfast places and let them have some flavonoid-rich foods to help them with their brain function in their tests, and it really does help. And so if you're in school and you're taking tests and that kind of thing, you definitely want to have some dark chocolate before that test, because it just opens up those neural pathways and you get more oxygen to the brain and you just do better. Okay, so previous research showed that acute as well as chronic ingestion of flavonoid-rich cocoa is associated with increased blood flow to the cerebral gray matter. It has been suggested that cocoa flavonoids might be beneficial in conditions with reduced cerebral blood flow, including dementia and stroke. So all of the older people, right, who are afraid of dementia and that kind of thing, we need to make sure that they have the rich, dark chocolate to see if that helps with their brain function. All of us need to have improved brain function, so that's a good thing. That's a very, very good thing. So they did a study of over 2,000 participants aged 70 to 74, and the closer I get to 70, the less old that looks to me. Okay, so I know that the rich flavonoids just help keep my brain working the way it needs to. So yes, we want to do that. So it lowers your blood pressure and it lowers your sugar metabolism. So if you have high blood sugar issues, then what you want to do is you want to maybe consume some of this sugar-free organic chocolate, right? To see if it just helps bring your blood sugar down. So these are some other studies. I'm all about the studies, right? We don't get our information from Dr. Google. We don't get our information from social media. We get our information from studies so that we can make informed decisions that are beneficial for our health. So there are 75 different scientific articles. A lot of them are in PubMed, and PubMed is a free site. Anybody can get on PubMed that are looking at dark chocolate and blood pressure. A study published in 2015 compared type 2 diabetic consumption of white chocolate versus high cocoa polyphenol-rich dark chocolate. The subjects consumed 25 grams, which was just a little under 1 ounce, of dark or white chocolate for 8 weeks. The researchers found that not only did the dark chocolate lower the blood pressure of the hypertensive diabetics, but it also decreased fasting blood sugar. And so that's what we're really looking for, okay? We're looking for things that help us overall improve every area of our lives. So again, this was not a whole lot of chocolate. It was 1 ounce or even less than an ounce. And it didn't take long. This was an 8-week study, so for 2 months. So if you are a hypertensive diabetic, you might just try having a little square, a little 1 ounce square of dark bioflavonoid chocolate and see if that doesn't help you. Okay, so what is dark chocolate? So dark chocolate has, let me give you these facts. I know we have to kind of bore you with facts, but this is an educational lunch and learn. That's why it's called Lunch and Learn, because I want to give you some information, and I'll probably post this graphic on the website if I can. But this is what you need to know. So an ounce of dark chocolate, we want to have 70 to 85% cocoa, right? 70 to 85%. It has 168 calories, which is not all that bad. 3.1 grams of fiber, which is good. 2.2 grams of protein, which is also good. But the main minerals it has in it, it has manganese, it has copper, iron, magnesium, which we've already talked about, phosphorus, potassium, zinc, vitamin K, selenium, and calcium. So all of these things are really, really good for you. And we want to make sure that you have everything that you need so that you can make your good choices. So the higher the cocoa content, right, the richer the bioflavonoids. And this is what we're looking for. We're looking for the bioflavonoids, right? So the higher the percentage of cocoa, the richer the taste. Cocoa is naturally bitter and very strong tasting. Chocolate makers, especially the makers of the milk chocolate, mellow the flavor by processing such as alkalinizing, fermenting, roasting, adding milk and or sugar, right? So we don't want to have that. All of this destroys the healthy bioflavonoids, right? It alters our ability to use them, and it negates their health benefit. So if you're going down to the grocery store and you're just buying any old chocolate bar, you're not doing yourself any favors. You want to make sure that you look on the bar. And of course, I don't have any of that kind of chocolate here because we just don't do that. You know, you want to look and see how many percent, what is the percent of cocoa flavonoids that are in there, or the cocoa solids is probably what it's going to say if it gives you any information at all. If you're getting the white chocolate, if you're getting the milk chocolate, you're having no health benefit. So just want to make that clear. Again, we don't want you eating a whole bar. This bar, this Cocoa Perfection bar, is, let me see, I think it's a 3-ounce bar, but I'm not seeing that on the package. Oh, sorry. One and a half. It's 1.5 ounces. Okay. So that's quite a lot. So half of that is an ounce. That's quite a lot, right? So anyway, so you can, that's a big amount. So I'm excited to know about that. Okay, so legally, let's get to some legal issues. Legally, milk chocolate only needs to be 10% pure chocolate, right? So 10% is quite a bit less than 70%. So you're just not getting that health benefit that you need. So the milk chocolate legally has to have at least 12% milk solids. Now, why do we not like milk solids? Those of you who pay attention to our Lunch and Learns and all of our different social media know that milk is a commercial product that is full of antibiotics and hormones. So we don't like milk because the hormones and the antibiotics deal roughly with our immune system, and the xenoestrogens in the milk mess up our hormones. It messes up women's hormones, but it also messes up the men's hormones as well. So for that reason, we don't really recommend milk. We have studies that show that men that consume milk have higher incidences of prostate cancer. So it's because of the hormones and the antibiotics in the milk. So if you get a product, a milk chocolate bar that says it's organic, you're probably not going to have that issue. But why are you going to get a milk chocolate bar when it only has 10% of the cocoa solids? Because it's just not going to do you any good, okay? Studies have shown that the proteins in the milk might reduce the absorption of the healthy antioxidants from the cocoa. So milk actually appears to bind itself to the flavonoids in the chocolate, making them unavailable for our body. So what you're getting is empty calories with no health benefits at all. White chocolate is even worse than milk chocolate. White chocolate is not really chocolate at all because it doesn't contain any cocoa solids, only cocoa butter, right? So that's just a misnomer. It probably tastes good, and when you mix it and you bake it and you get all these white chocolate coverings and that kind of thing, it looks pretty, and I'm all for that, but you don't want to be having this as part of your health regimen, okay? So an ounce of dark chocolate, again, has these benefits with only 168 calories. So we like that. We like that. Let's see what else we can find. If you add whole almonds to the mix, you get a higher percentage. It can be a better health booster, right? But watch out for any other additives such as marshmallows and caramel. These are unhealthy ingredients, and they mitigate the benefits of the dark chocolate. So dark chocolate should be made with cocoa butter, not palm and or coconut oils. Also look out for any hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oils in the ingredient list. Now that huge commercial chocolate makers are responding to the love for dark chocolate, they're making their own versions, you have to be careful. A label that reads dark chocolate doesn't automatically make it a healthy choice. The healthiest or best dark chocolate is from cocoa or cocoa that is organic, minimally processed, and definitely not Dutched. So Dutch chocolate is actually included in the University of Michigan Integrative Medicine Healing Food Pyramid as part of a balanced whole food plant-based diet. It recommends a 7-ounce bar of dark chocolate each week with an average intake of 1 ounce per day. So 7 ounces per week. All right. So I'm not sure why this report says that you don't want Dutch chocolate if the research shows that it is okay. So I'm not quite sure what the disconnect is on that, but I'm just reading this report to you. Dark chocolate is not as high in sugar as other chocolate varieties, but if you are diabetic, looking to lower your your sugar intake, you can find, like we have the chocolate bars that are made sugar-free, okay? So whatever health condition you have, there is a chocolate out there for you, and it's going to protect your heart. It's going to lower your cholesterol. It's going to improve your cognitive function, right? So we have all of these good benefits. So we're just about out of time. I don't know that there are any questions, but I will go back and look here and see after we're off the air. We're only on for 30 minutes. And so love you guys. I want you to have a good weekend. Stay very calm out there on those roads if you're traveling this weekend. And hopefully we have some non-rainy days because it's been raining quite a bit around here. So be blessed. Have a good weekend. And I will say goodbye until next Friday. Love you much.